Okay. Great. Good morning, you guys. Thank you for joining me once again here. This is Nicky Dare. I know you guys are all excited here, hearing my voice. It's been a while, but I just want to say there is another month here, a great month. Bittersweet has gone by before we know it, right? It's almost the end of July 2024. Great to be here. Great to be alive here, please, on this planet Earth. All right, let's turn down the music a little bit here, and I want to just present you with this quote. In a world where uncertainty is the only certainty, of course, being prepared isn't just a plan. It's a promise to yourself and your loved ones. I just made that one up again, as always, guys. Good to be here. This topic is the importance of staying prepared. What do you know, right? This is a great topic. So I'm going to invite you to stay with me here, hang out with me here for the next, I want to keep you here for at least half an hour, if not less. So wherever you are, enjoy it. Drive safe if you are on the West Coast. Enjoy this podcast. If you are somewhere else around the other side of the world, enjoy your mimosa and sit tight. Hopefully that it brings you values to this podcast. Okay, the goal of this episode, as always, I want to just share this with you. Turn down the music here a little bit. Is to empower you, to empower all of us, all of my loyal listeners here, wherever you are listening from around the world, with the tools and insights needed to navigate leadership challenges with agility and foresight in an ever-changing world. And Leadership365 is truly a podcast for you designed to inspire growth, whether it's personal or professional, and impact for sustainability, so you can create your best year of 365 days ever. So as always, good to be here in the presence of you and many around the world. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Leadership 365, the podcast where, we all explore. We love to explore, and that's how we can, we can grow. And I'm going to turn this down a little bit here, guys. We can grow, explore essential strategies and tools and insights for leading ourselves with confidence and resilience. I'm your host, Nicky Dare, and today we are diving into this very topic that is more relevant than ever: emergency preparedness, disaster preparedness, as I call it. I love this topic. I've been advocating this for almost 3 decades now in my life. In a world filled with uncertainty, we're talking about disasters, natural disasters, man-made disasters, economic instability, global pandemics, global unrest, political tensions, and hostilities. All of these things, right, come into the mix of humanity experience here. Being prepared is not just a luxury, it is a necessity. So let's get started here. All right. Nice, happy background there, music. All right, in today's world, uncertainty seems to be the only certainty. We agree on that. I believe, just look at the headlines, right? Wildfires, what's going on in the West Coast right now, where I'm at, raging across the West Coast. The Southeast, hurricanes battering the Southeast, economic volatility affecting markets globally. This is not news. This is just happening every day, and then more so and more amplified. And ongoing impacts of the COVID-19 pandemics. Yes, we're still talking about COVID. There are so many other things that's going on, new things going on out there. These events are stark reminders for all of us of how crucial it is to be prepared within our own elements, our own surroundings. But what does it mean to be truly prepared? I'm not talking about just, go-to bags and emergency preparedness. We used to talk about that, by the way, 20 some years ago, right? Almost 3 decades ago. when things are still simple, I guess the disasters are still act of God and things like that. Now it's more sophisticated. We're talking about in a much higher level scale. So it's not just about stockpiling supplies. It's about having the knowledge, having the skills, having that mindset to navigate any situation with confidence, and your resilience is about ensuring the safety and well-being of our loved ones no matter what challenges arise. Our preparedness is not just a luxury. Preparedness is the lifeline that turns chaos into opportunity and uncertainty into resilience. That's another quote that I just made up before I came in here. So over 3 decades now, I have dedicated myself to hands-on emergency preparedness and also advocating this disaster readiness through my own experiences, my personal experiences of facing health challenges and personal losses. Just in the last few years, I have learned, decades now. Yeah, I lost quite a lot of people who are close to my heart, and that I really look up to. I've learned that preparedness is not just a precaution; it's a way of life. And as the founder of a grassroots nonprofit, I Dare, which focuses on educating people and communities to stay prepared for any disasters, my journey has always also been about promoting situational awareness, SA365. A lot of you see me on some of the social media, namely YouTube or even TikTok. Yeah, believe it. And also X, which is Twitter. A lot of you see that, I've been promoting this situational awareness because I think it's a first line of defense, basically, using that mindset, using the not paranoia I'm talking about, more on how can you activate your own guts, your own intuition. I mean, it's something that you were born with, basically. How would you activate that? It's you already have it in you, right? So that's SA, situational awareness, being really alert of your own surrounding or your own environment. So my journey has been promoting that, advocating this through my advocacy of for SA365. Understanding your surroundings, anticipating potential risks is a vital part of being prepared. The mental readiness, the mental toughness, mental readiness is that when you do train yourself to be mentally prepared, to always prepared, not paranoia, is a muscle memory after that, right? And it boosts your confidence. It's not just about having supplies. I mean, we talk about that too a lot. We always say, be sure that you always have your emergency supplies around your house, around your workplace, around your vehicles that you spend time, places that you spend time most during the day. But it's also about having mindset to respond effectively to any situation. Exactly. So it's about having the mindset to respond effectively to any given situation that you might face, challenges, any situation, all of these things, uncomfortable things, uncomfortable situations. So let's talk about the why and how we should stay prepared in the face of current events. I don't want to talk in too much detail because, I'd like to invite experts as well, or, a lot of my fellow colleagues and partners, collaborators, supporters who have been in the same field with me in the emergency EP, we call it EP, Emergency Preparedness Community. I'd like to invite them too to talk about this. In fact, I have been talking about them, interview them, and I've been interviewed by them, etc. So, I think I want to insert some of what they have to say and insights about this. We all speak the same language when it comes to this, right? I mean, how should we stay prepared in the face of current events? Natural disasters, for instance, are becoming more frequent and severe to climate change. 20 something years ago when I start talking about this, 25, years ago when I start talking about this, people look at me funny and then go like, oh, yeah, right. We just have plain rain every season, plain fire every season. It's fire season. So what? Not a big deal. It's like, okay. Now 25 years fast forward, it's becoming even more frequent and severe, right? So just recently we've been seeing a lot of devastating hurricanes and wildfires. West Coast here has always been hit by that. Not the hurricanes, but the wildfires. The hurricanes more so in the Midwest or the East Coast. But this disaster can displace families and disrupt supply chains and cause significant economic damage. Having a preparedness plan in place can make a huge difference in how we respond to and recover from these events. It starts with having a well-stocked emergency kit that includes your essentials like water, of course, right? That's the first thing you must replenish and include in your kit anywhere, however way. Those non-perishable foods, right? First aid kit, tools, personal hygiene products. One of the most commonly asked questions to the mitigation lectures that I've had in the past decades is that, how much do I have to, prepare for me? It all depends on the size and the needs of your family. For example, if you're single and you're a student going to school, still college, it'll be different than people who have family already with kids, with maybe parents and grandparents with grandchildren still in the same house. That'll be different, right? Or a couple just started living, bought a new home and just start living, or expecting a new baby born. That's going to be different. That's going to look different, right? The diapers and things like that, right? So you get my point in that. Everything has to be. The question is that how big is it? How much do I have to spend on? Because of course this can be costly. Now these days it is costly. Should I get a pre-packed emergency preparedness kits, or should I do it in a custom way? I think my answer would be it's up to you, depending on your situation. But if you really want to have my answer, my 3 cents would be customize it accordingly to what you need, because a lot of these kits are pre-made, right? And then they're pre-made for many things that's in there that you may not need. So customize it to based on your needs and the size of what you only need. You don't have to have access of diapers, for example, or access of if you're not even starting a family yet, it doesn't make sense. Anything that makes sense to you then do it. All right. So economic instability is also another major concern. Excuse me, I'm getting over this. I have this over a week. No, it's not COVID. It's just plain flu and a little bit of just down with a cold over a week. Economic instability is another major concern, you guys. With the global economy facing challenges from all of these little variables, I said little, from trade wars, inflation that we're facing. This is global, disasters right now, and the aftershocks of the pandemic, I'll call it. Yeah, it's a huge aftershocks, the side effects of the pandemic. It is important to be financially prepared. I do not know how much or how many times I have repeated it myself, even before pandemic started. I have started and shared with you guys. If you've been into my workshop, whether it is change management in a corporate segment, or in a community workshop that I have delivered and advocated through my nonprofit, or me teaching mitigation lectures and stuff like that, I have shared this financially, to be financially prepared. the financial aspect to this. It is huge. A lot of you maybe heard this and say, yeah, I remember she said this. And, a lot of us perhaps at that time just sort of overlooked it or underestimated the importance of it, the level of the importance of it, right? Because everything was still good. We were still in a good economy. And then pandemic hits and we start worrying, nail biting a little bit, right? Now, the aftershocks of the pandemic 4 years later, and then some, with the political turbulences and everything else, and you know what I'm talking about, it's mind-boggling right now. This means having an emergency fund, diversifying your investments, and being mindful of your spending. It's really looking at it into how can I, start living in a frugal lifestyle. I mean, I talked about this before, right? Before pandemic started, frugal lifestyle is not really a bad thing. People say, oh yeah, you're just being a cheapskate and you want to, it really isn't. I don't use discount. I always ask, because I always negotiate when I try to purchase something, and I always ask for discount. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Now, I think it should be like part of the prerequisites before we even exchange for our card in some of the big purchases. But when there's an opportunity, a chance for us to negotiate. But I'm talking about the what do you call that? The coupons, the coupon savings. I really never ever use it in my life, and I start looking at it now recently because I stand in the grocery store and I see all of the people, if not all, you're right, most of the people here, I live in LA, and prices are just so premium right now. You pay like 5 times more than you pay when you go to the other states outside California. I think that's the true factual statement there, because I've traveled outside, California. It's like, oh my God, fuel, gas, for example, mainly, are very much cheaper than here in LA. What we've been paying here every day. But people are lining up, and grocery stores like Albertson, Ralph's that we go to here, Trader Joe's, there are a lot of coupon discounts and things like that. But people are start looking into this. I've never seen so many people, in generally speaking right now, are using those digital coupons. So I'm starting to think about this, like, times are really hard. I've never seen any of this ever since I've lived here in the United States of America. Anyway, so economic downturns can lead to job losses and reduced income. So having a financial safety net can provide your peace of mind and stability during these tough times, during these rainy days, basically. And I want to leave it there as far as the economic instability, because there's a lot of talk that we can stretch it out into, how can we survive every day with the high, ever-growing, increasing prices in foods and in just basic living needs that we're facing right now. And because I live in California, which is a commie state, by the way, and I'm not ashamed to say that, it is a commie state. I lived here 3 decades now, and I grew up in Houston, Texas. In Texas, basically, a state where it was nice to live and grow up since I was 4 years old. Actually, I lived in Colorado for a while, and then relocated to Texas, and finished my from school all the way to college, to university, getting masters and all of that, and then moved down here to raise family in Southern California for the last 3 decades. So, I have never seen so much just taxes, high taxes that we've been paying here. I've been paying here in anything that we do here. It's very, it's just very sad to see how much taxpayers are being taxed in everything that we do. But then yet we turn around, and then so much money has been given away as well. So, okay, that's another topic, another day. It's a very depressing conversation, actually, in a political sense, that is. All right, global pandemics. Let's just turn the subject here a little bit. Global pandemics like the COVID-19 crisis, yes, it is a mess. It's a complete mess out here. Global pandemics and leadership failed. Any of you who disagree with me, that's okay. If you want to be living in a misery and living in a high prices, and that's good on you, but I don't want that. And then, not complaining about it, but, making things change. And, one of the things that you all should do is July 2024 right now is, 90-something days until election. So go vote. Go out there and go vote. Make a change. All right, moving on. Global pandemics, and let's take a music break here. All right, I'm back. Just a little breather there. It is my podcast after all, Leadership365 with Nicky Dare, so I can say whatever I want to. But it is, of course, professionally trying to keep it that way. But let's talk about global pandemics here. Yeah, we're still talking about that, you guys. Like the COVID-19 crisis that we have gone through in the last 4 years, right? Unexpectedly, and a lot of us agree that it's been planned, so we can call it pandemic. But it has shown us how vulnerable we are to health emergencies and how stupid we are to follow any mandates, right? But at the time, though, we have learned that we have to stay prepared. I think that's a bold statement right there. That the world see how vulnerable all of us are, as a human being. That we must ensure that we have a stockpile of medical supplies, including medications, masks, sanitizers, and all of the essentials, vitamins as well. Very crucial. And additionally, maintaining a healthy lifestyle to boost our immune system. I'm still working on that every day. I mean, I have this small little cold, and the first thing I do is how can I heal naturally? Because that's I don't believe in RX. I don't believe in pharma. I don't believe in all of these prescriptions things. And any of my doctors that had done surgical on me would agree on me on what I just said. When it comes to medication, I'm a true rebel. I'm a defiant when it comes to RX and everything. Any of my doctors who have been taking care of my health will agree. Completely agree 100% what I just said. So, I do believe, though, however, in the healing naturally. I do believe that our body is fully capable of, healing, of putting our health together. And I think our body has immune system, and we can work on that ourselves, right, by putting the right minerals and vitamins and everything like this. I do, however, though, take supplements such as like the fish oils, which I don't really want to be taking many of that, because it's a thin, blood thinning too. So I'll learn about that. As a matter of fact, the nurses, before they did surgeries on me in the last few years, they told me, it's like, oh, have you taken this fish oil, Nicky? It's like, yeah, I want you to stop doing that in 10 days before the surgery. It's like, oh, what is that? He said, blood thinning. It's like, oh, okay, I didn't know. A lot of this that we don't know, that we have to do our own personal due diligence. And then, in fact, even if we do it, like research online, we gotta have to read some books too, right? The older books and all of these things, not just the online resources, but a lot of credible resources out there still exist, available. Not the wannabe resources that you want to just get on it. And the doctors as well have somewhat good resources, but you must do your own diligence in getting the right resources for yourself. After all, it is your body. It is entirely your decisions to make a choice what you want to consume to your body to get healthy and to stay healthy. So, additionally, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, I mean, to boost the immune system can make a significant difference. Vitamin K, for example, sun out there. I know sun has been a little bit different lately, right? The climate change and all of this, the rays are a little bit different, very hot and very stronger now than before. But, outdoor, getting yourself outdoors, soaking in the sun, of course, with protection. That's one of them. You simply can take also the vitamin K, and then iron, and just a whole list of just, vitamins, basically. Again, healing naturally from the fruits, from the plants, from the vegetables is also my personal choices. And then grow them yourselves in your backyard. If you don't have a backyard, then grow small in planters and things like that. It's very doable to stay sustainable, really. And it is about your mindset. If your mindset is there, and then just act on it, really. Make yourself healthy. I mean, no one else is going to take care of you. I mean, you can pay people take care of you, like you're going to doctor or paying your insurance and everything like this. But at the end of the day, it is your body, it is your choice, right? God, I sound like a PSA political. Okay, so remember, preparedness is not just about reacting to crisis, but also being proactive in maintaining your health and your well-being. All right, music, please.
Welcome back to the
Okay, so music is not working right now, but I hope it is. Oh, wait. Let's look at the music here. Oh, no, not this one. This is a clown. You know who that is. Okay. All right, that was a good breather. Political tension, I want to touch on this, and let me just turn down the music here. Political tensions and global hostilities also pose significant risks. The civil unrest, like I said, cyber attacks also, don't forget about those. And geopolitical conflicts can definitely disrupt everyday life. Staying informed through reliable news resources, I don't know what these days. Just, you gotta have to do your research and do your diligence, obviously, on this news sources. Having an evacuation plan, dig a hole downstairs, right? And securing your personal information are key steps in staying prepared. I joke a lot about this as I'm speaking, obviously, because it's the uncertainties of all the things that we are living in today, in today's world. It's incredible we just have to deal with it. We have done this before. We have gone through this. Mankind have gone through it, and we should go through it again, right? In a different flavor, that is. So, I mean, we can take care and control what we can control in our lives. So, building a supportive community network, can also provide security and resources during times of political instability. I'm gonna land there. I'm gonna pause there for right now, as far as the political tension and all of these things. I'm not a political savvy. I just know what's true, what's not, and don't want to be in a political arena for sure. But now let's dive into some of the key highlights of this upcoming book that I'm writing on emergency preparedness. Yes, I'm writing another guidebook. Yeah, be excited, guys. Get excited. There's a couple books that I'm trying to finalize today. Well, in the next couple months. But the guide is designed to go beyond the basics and help you master the art of sustainable survival. I had this video snippets. I think I posted it in my YouTube recently, yesterday or a couple of days ago. And I have noted that, no, I'm not a prepper and never want to be, don't want to be, and don't want to be called one. And I think I've shared that thought 2-3 decades ago with you. And I said, no, I'm not a prepper. Somebody came up to me and said, oh, so you're a prepper. You're into preparedness, emergency preparedness. Like, you don't have to be a prepper to be in emergency preparedness. I don't want to be called prepper. I appreciate that you don't call me that. So I've created this term called sustainable survivalist. Yeah, you heard that right. I like to use that term because I think it hits home better, sustainable survivalist. So master the art of sustainable survival. Whether you're new to preparedness or looking to refine your strategies, this book has something for everyone. We will explore topics like getting started on your preparedness journey, assessing your needs accurately, and building a balanced stockpile without overloading on any one item. And then having this proper storage conditions. They're also crucial, yeah, right? So we'll cover how to avoid areas with extreme temperatures, high humidity, and exposure to light and oxygen. I think that's one of the things that I want to cover on the book that I have written it already. I just want to touch up some details around it. All right. Music, please. All right, so there are regular inspections and just maintenance, right? They're very vital in this too, part of the preparedness. Well, let me turn down the music here. Okay. Ignoring this rotation or, the recycling, I call it, rotation maintenance, can lead to wasted resources. I know this by experience, by the way. You gotta have to really look closely and pay attention to these little details because it can lead to wasted resources. What do I mean by this? I'm talking about when you start stockpiling and you start your emergency preparedness, your canned goods, for example. Okay, this is a great example. And, one of the commonly asked questions at the workshop, mitigation lectures that I've done is that, how often do you change? How often do you buy your canned goods, Nikki? This is entirely up to your, needs, right? To your household needs. Basically, if you're a single person, like, for example, it'll be much easier, right? Because you can consume that. If you have a family, you're just a couple, you and your spouse, for example, it'll be easier to manage, right? But when you start having this, you have your kids, you have your grandkids, for example, or, you have your parents living with you, and you have a bigger family, household size of family, then it becomes a little bit complex. What I mean by this is canned goods in your pantry, in your food pantry. You want to recycle them. Yes, you can consume them, right? This is part of your emergency items in your pantry, in your kitchen. And you certainly can consume that. And then you continue buying this, purchasing the canned goods, right? And what you do is that you take, first in, first out method, FIFO I call it, ensuring that the older items are used before the newer ones, basically. So when you start lining them up, right, in your pantry, make sure that you have a system, right? FIFO, first in, first out. Having the older, looking at the expiration date, basically. You purchase it today, for example, that it goes to the front, and then you in the shelf, and then you go, you purchase again. Let's say you go to the store, and then you purchase new ones, new canned goods, and it goes to the back side of the shelf. So it's really easy, it's really simple. And this regular inspecting your stockpile for signs of spoilage or damage and updating the inventory accordingly. The expiration dates basically are very essential steps in maintaining reliable emergency supply, food supply especially. I know this for a fact too because I have experienced this hands-on. When I start volunteering at churches, for example, and then at the food pantry for the churches locally here, we were managing. People would drop off their canned goods, right? But I'd say about 65% of that, more than half percentage of the people who have drop off their canned goods are expired, unfortunately and sadly. And people shouldn't do that, by the way, because it can harm the people who receive these canned goods, health issues, right? Because that's why we were there. We were part of our duties is to look at the expiration date. So if the expiration date is still within a week timeline, we keep it, and then we give it to a week timeline, for example, and we give it to we share it with the donor, with the recipients, basically, and then let them know this has 1 week still on the canned goods. But if it's already over, I mean, come on, guys, don't trash your don't what do we used to call this? Don't clean up your kitchen and go to church and then call that donation. That's not donation. Trash them into your own bin, basically trash bin at home. But okay, so that's how I learn, right? That I mean, it's common sense, really, but then it has been like a bolded on me. It says like, okay, and people do this. People don't really look at the expiration date, just give them the benefit of the doubt that they didn't do this intently. But that's what I'm trying to share with you guys, that look at the expiration date and then consume it within that date, obviously, before the date ends, before the date expires, and then move the new ones to the front on the shelf. And that's what I meant by first in, first out method, implementing rotation system. And one of the ways to do this, right, if you forget, it's like, how often do I have to do this, Nikki? Well, I mean, a lot of these things, it could be 1 month, it could be 3 months, so that's great news. One of the ways to do this, not just to manually remind yourself and then put a little note on your pantry door, because that's the way we did it at the church, right? At the pantry door. So whenever you open the door, you'll remind yourself, like, oh man, I gotta finish this pile, in case if you haven't really consumed those things, right? The second way to do it, not just on a manual food pantry note, but also use the daylight savings events, which happens twice a year, right? The spring and the fall forward and spring backwards, right? Those two events will be a great reminder for you guys, because it'll be all over the place globally reminded to you. It's a reminder for you, so you won't miss it. But at that time, take the time to do the things that you need to do for your emergency preparedness items around your house, inspecting, maintaining it, and rotation system in case if you forget. I mean, the last thing that you wanna see is that you wasted all of this food, right, that you had purchased, which happens, by the way. But do it in a minimal way if you can, because we have that month or 2 months of summer vacation that perhaps that you're not home, or you went on a vacation, or even winter, out of home, and then you don't touch your pantry. All right, so I'm moving on to the next one. It is mental well-being. Mental well-being is another crucial aspect of preparedness. Yes, indeed. Managing your stress and anxiety during emergencies is very critical. Knowing you have a well-stocked pantry provides truly a peace of mind and a sense of control. I always love to buy a can of soup, because this is good, right? Can of soup. It's available, and I believe is 3 months in some good ones. Expiration, maybe more in some brand. I can't tell you what brand they are. I mean, you just have to look and shop around with this. Stock them. Really, knowing you have a well-stocked pantry provides peace of mind and a sense of control. Including comfort foods in your stockpile, can also boost morale during tough times. I'm talking about, oh gosh, I'm talking about, the list goes on here. If you're like me, I love those, the for hiking, for trails, like the chocolate, I call them comfort food snacks, actually snacks. Those bars, the energy bars, the trail mix, all of these things, the peanuts, the pistachios, nuts, the walnuts, all of these things that you love to eat, and snacks, when you're hiking, have those, the dried fruits, all of your favorite stuff, favorite snacks, have them in your stockpile. I mean, this can boost morale during your tough times. Simple pleasures like chocolate, coffee, tea can make significant difference also, maintaining a positive outlook. Have them in your pile. I mean, this is like I said earlier, customize it according to what you like, what you need, what your family, household size and needs. So the next one is community support. Community support is invaluable in times of crisis. Indeed. Engage with your neighbors. Join local prepper groups. God, I don't like to be called prepper. Sustainable survival. Sustainable survivalists. Participate in online forums to share knowledge, resources, and encouragement. How about just EP, Emergency Preparedness Group? Because that's where I'm at in the community. Okay, so together we can build a more resilient and much more supportive network. In this book that I'm finalizing, you also find real-life success stories from sustainable survivalists, and I'm planning to include those. The stories provide valuable insights and practical tips for building your own stockpile and learning from the experiences of others and applying their lessons to your own preparedness plan can be very incredibly empowering and inspiring. So we also explore We'll also explore advanced storage techniques. I want to include these things here because I'm reading my manuscript right now. Because I've already included this thing, vacuum sealing, dry ice preservation, things like that, right? So some of these advanced storage techniques. So we'll also explore these things, vacuum sealing using oxygen absorbers and dry ice preservation. All of these methods extend the shelf life of your supplies and ensure that they remain in peak condition. Renewable food sources like sprouting seeds, foraging, and fishing can also provide fresh food in extended emergencies. Seed saving and storage is another critical topic. Saving seeds from your garden to grow future crops. I love this kind of method and really think, because this approach really is very sustainable approach, very sustainable, thinking, and I'm inviting you to think this way. Saving seeds from your garden to grow future crops and maintaining sustainable food supply are very essential for long-term preparedness. This way, it's like, I'm all for sustainability. I'm all for sustainable lifestyle, sustainable living. And that's why I want to stick with that word, sustainable survival, because it is not just prepper. We're not preppers. I mean, what's prepper, right? Preparing. That's old news. This is moving forward, sustainable living. So sustainable living practices also like composting, rainwater harvesting, energy conservation, further enhance your preparedness and reduce reliance on external resources. These practices not only benefit the environment, we all have seen this, and this is true factual realities now, but also strengthen your resilience against disruptions. We like our bodies, we overlooked it. It's like our bodies can heal naturally as well. Look at the environment. The environment can also naturally heal I mean, this is no kidding at all, right? I mean, with or without humans, I think planet Earth will just stay the way it is, maintain its own health. We're the ones who toxicated ourselves, to the planet Earth. Really, if Mother Nature can speak, I mean, she can say, "Hey, you guys, be nice, be kind to us, be kind to your own home, be kind to your planet Earth, because this is, after all, your home." The environment can heal itself. The environment, really, with or without humans, can heal itself. And I do have a video which I shared in my YouTube channel. In fact, it's the video that you can see when you go to my homepage on YouTube, talks about that. It's like, we don't need to say that save the planet. This planet really can save itself. Really, Mother Nature can speak, and Mother Nature can speak about that. Really, sustainable living practices. This practice not only benefit the environment, but also strengthen your resilience against disruption. Just any disruptions. Embracing sustainability is about building a lifestyle that supports both preparedness and ecological balance. We love to talk about the balance, but this is so true. It's a true statement, what I just said. It is about building a lifestyle. Sustainability is about building a lifestyle that supports both what we're talking about here, which is preparedness, and also ecological balance. So, all right, don't miss out. My new book is more than just a guide. I hope that you guys are going to grab it. It's your roadmap to a secure and confident future. And I just want to invite you. I know I was like, okay, Nikki, you're sharing it in a podcast. Like, yeah, I am. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about it next time in my podcast. Not more in detail, but more about these things. Just some of the highlights in the book. And so watch for it coming out soon. Empower yourself with the knowledge, and also empower yourself with the tools you need to face any challenge head on. So let's get started on building a future where uncertainty is met with readiness and peace of mind. All right, guys. I'm going to share with you this other quote. Well, I'm turning this down a little bit. Another quote that I just made here: true preparedness is the art of transforming fear into foresight, and challenges into chances of growth and survival. I'll repeat that again here. I just wrote this down. True preparedness is the art of transforming fear into foresight, and challenges into chances for growth and survival. I think you might like that. I know I like it. All right, stay tuned for exclusive tips and printable checklists that will take your preparedness to the next level. And let's make preparedness a part of your lifestyle today. Watch, learn, and prepare for your future self with thank you. All right, guys, I'm not going to end this podcast without my final thoughts. So here goes my final thoughts about this. Really, as I sit and ponder here, listening to the news and watch the news globally, what's going on around the world, and my little world and our little world, small world here around us, I think about this, staying prepared, what may happen, and not staying paranoia, obviously, but, what could and what can we do, and how can we control all of that, right? And however much that we can control, which is within our own boundaries, within our own world. So as we conclude this episode, Leadership 365, I want to leave you with this. Preparedness is not just about having a plan. It's about really having that mindset of resilience and having a mindset of readiness, not paranoia. But in a world where uncertainty is the only certainty, especially these days now, being prepared means transforming fear into foresight and challenges into opportunities. It is about ensuring that no matter what life throws your way, you and your loved ones are protected and secure. And remember, preparedness is a continuous journey. It sure is. Preparedness is a continuous journey. It's about staying informed, adapting to new situation, and constantly improving your strategies, whether it's through building a balanced, stockpiling, making or fostering community support, maintaining mental well-being. Every step that you take towards preparedness is a step towards a more confident and resilient future. So, all right, that's it for me. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for joining me today. You guys, thank you so much. Stay prepared, stay resilient. And let's make sure that no matter what happens, we are ready to face it together. Until next time, this is Nicky Dare, signing off. Stay safe and be prepared. Merci de voir écouter mon podcast aujourd'hui. And gracias por escuchar mi podcast hoy también. Gracias por pasar tiempo conmigo hoy. Guys, terima kasih telah mendengarkan podcast hari ini dengan saya. Terima kasih Anda telah meluangkan waktu bersama saya hari ini. Que tengas un gran día. Thank you so much, guys. Jadikan hari ini yang menyenangkan. Semoga harimu selalu menyenangkan. Stay in condition yellow, situational awareness, watch your 6, 9, 12, and 3 always. Until next time, Nicky Dare, signing off. Don't forget to follow me and connect with me on LinkedIn, and also subscribe to my channel YouTube here. Check out some of my published books on Amazon, you guys. Hope any of that can bring some values for you today and tomorrow, and also to your team. God bless. Thank you so much. This is the importance of staying prepared. End of the podcast now. Thank you. Thank you for listening. This is Nicky Dare. God bless.